guys, today we're learning how to format a document in MLA style in Google Drive. If you use the full version of Microsoft Word for your documents, then you're looking for a different video. So we are going to first need to get some text on the page so that we can see that our formatting is accurately changing. So the first thing you'll want to do is add in your MLA header. It goes at the top left of the page and it is 4 lines long. That header starts with your full name. Second line is your professor's name, and you want to make sure you include their full name and title spelled out. So in that case, you're usually going to have professor. It might be doctor though, so be sure to check with them. And we're going to just use Albus Dumbledore. The third line should be your course number. So in your case, it's probably going to be ENC 1101, but you also want to make sure you include a CRN after the dash. Your specific course number can be found on Blackboard. The fourth and last line of the header is the date. Now this should be that the date the assignment is due, not the date you're working on it. So in that case, you're going to be using international format, which is date first, then month, and then year. You'll notice there's not a comma in this version, so just be aware of that. The very next line after the header is your title. So you're going to center the title. You can change the justification up here. And you want to make sure you capitalize your title appropriately. The title should not be bold or underlined or italicized or any bigger or have spaces after it or anything like that. You want to make sure you only capitalize the first and last word as well as any word in the center of the title that is above 3 letters. So things that don't get capitalized would be things like A, or an, or the. Okay? And then the very next line after your title is where your document starts. For convenience sake, I'm just going to paste something here. Now, you'll notice two things. The first thing I want you to notice is that there's this large space between the two paragraphs. We do not want those spaces, so if that happens between your paragraphs, be sure to erase those spaces. And then additionally, you want to make sure that your paragraphs are indented. So you can generally just use the tab button to do that, and be sure you do that to every paragraph. Your tab should be roughly a ½ inch, but you also can just kind of guesstimate this. Just make sure they're not like halfway across the page or too short to be noticed. Now the next thing we want to check is that our font and spacing is accurate. Right now it's in the wrong font. Your font should always be in Times New Roman and size 12. Okay, so now we're in a better place. The spacing needs to be changed, however, and you can find the spacing options right up here. So your spacing should always be double. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, the next things I want you to check are the margins, which you can do in File and in Page Setup. Your margins should read 1 inch on each side. Right now they're fine. They're usually set this way anyway, but just double check it in case. And the last thing you'll want to do is add in your page numbering. Your page numbering needs to be formatted in the header. You can't just click up to the top of the page and do that. However, if you double click up at the very top of the page, it will bring up the header tools. You'll notice there's this line underneath it. That shows that you're formatting in the right spot. So you can add your page numbering in right here, and you would use the Insert button, and page numbering is right down here. Use this first option. That ensures that your pages are numbered sequentially. Your page numbering, however, should be a ½ inch from the top of the page. Right now this is far too close and will probably get cut off with your printing, so we'll want to move that down in just a second. 2 spaces. 2 spaces is usually just right. You want to make sure your last name comes right before the page numbering, and that you also change that over to Times New Roman 12-point font. Now everything looks about right. Just double check that your page looks exactly like this one, and you should be well on your way.